Hey Virgos, I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for your patience. This is going to be an energy check-in for you, Virgo, just to see what the energies are doing right now. It's been a really intense couple of weeks emotionally with Cancer season, also with the new moon in Cancer, and a few other planetary happenings like Mercury in retrograde in Cancer on the new moon. It's asking us to revisit a lot of emotional history, especially that which has been suppressed. And Virgo, I'm getting for you right now as well, because Pisces is opposite to you in the zodiac wheel. There's a tension between maybe distracting yourself from truth versus being open to seeing it now, or finally seeing through the illusion of things and processing that emotion, because sometimes we can move through emotion by deluding ourselves in a way. I don't mean that in a bad way, but looking at the narrative from our perspective, or looking at the narrative from a perspective that is less painful in order to move through the emotion. And as perfectionists, as you know, I'm generalizing, but typically Virgo, as perfectionists, as practical people, you want to move forward, and sometimes you can feel like emotions get in the way. So, what you will maybe do to move through an emotion quickly is to reframe it in a positive way, or distract yourself through work or any other hobby, in order not to feel the emotion fully and in order to dilute the depth of the emotion. And what that does, Virgo, is it ends up suppressing it and it comes up later. So this new moon in Cancer on the 14th of July at 11:44 a.m. South African time, and with Mercury in retrograde, is revisiting those past situations and revisiting emotions you thought you may have already been over, or situations that you thought you might have already processed and healed. Okay, so let's see. That was just coming through as a download from Spirit before the reading. Let's see what's going on for you, Virgo. Wow, that was quick. The Empress, Earth energy, card of Taurus. This is about the divine feminine. This is about allowing the flow of emotion. It is about being able to sit in the flow of emotion. It is also a card of abundance, Virgo. So if you've been working on your abundance, if you've been working on your ability to receive abundance, this is a good card to support you in that. Empress energy is also about a calm nervous system. When we are in feminine energy, true feminine energy, it means that the armor is off. We are not trying to be fiercely independent. We are not trying to prove anything to anyone in our femininity. It is the energy of surrender. It is the energy of trust. And it is the energy of flow. And we can only truly surrender when our nervous system feels safe. When it comes to practical goals as well, Virgo, I'm feeling to say as well, you can envision and create and create a practical plan for anything that you want to achieve in your life. But if your nervous system is not matching that, then you are going to struggle to achieve the goal. So it's the frequency that is being emitted that is important, and that comes from our energetic body, our nervous system. So the Empress is asking you to step into your feminine energy, and this doesn't mean, you have to be a feminine embodiment. This is for male and female Feminine energy is about surrender, trust, and value, as well as abundance, Virgo. King of Wands, God of Leo, and we are moving into Leo season. This is about pride, courage, self-worth, and it's King energy, which is evolved energy. You could be dealing with a Leo, you don't have to be, but this is again about balancing the masculine and the feminine, because this is a very masculine energy ruled by the sun. The sun is also a masculine representation. And maybe what is being said here, Virgo, is, but the Empress, is a higher form of feminine energy. So there's a need to maybe tone or calm the masculine side of you, which is always on the go, always active, always in control. It's also an energy of reclaiming your place in the world, because sun energy, solar plexus energy, is about self-worth and purpose and revisiting that purpose. And the feminine energy helps to create the flow and the creative energy to assist you in defining what that purpose is. So as we move into Leo season, this is a very strong energy coming through for you, Virgo. Some of you could also be meeting a partner that maybe doesn't fully match your energy. Could be someone younger than you. When I say fully match your energy, I mean in terms of the societal definitions of success, whether it's salary or career position, but that's not going to matter. This person is going to be someone that you can, feel safe with. This is the illusion I was talking about, Virgo. It is Piscean energy, it is Neptunian energy, and it can sometimes be very confusing. And you have had a little bit of a confusing period, maybe in terms of choosing which path you move into next, whether this is career or relationship, Virgo. There's been a bit of confusion in which direction to move, and that's normally not your energy. Normally, you have a sense of where you're going to next. But this is about cutting through that illusion and making a choice in surrender and in trust. What this card represents is that the choices we make all have different outcomes. And what they are saying is, whatever the outcome is, Virgo, will be in your highest good if you're making the decision for the right reasons. It's also cutting through illusion again. So again, this is about processing, those unhealed, those suppressed emotions in order to release the fear that you may have of any negative consequences coming out of your choices. And again, calming the nervous system. So again, this feeling of going back to nurturing yourself, going back to grounding your energy, going back to emotion, because cups is emotion. And this is a page, which is childlike energy. So some of you could also be revisiting childhood trauma, childhood memories. It doesn't have to be, big, huge trauma, but it can be a single memory or a single situation where you felt an emotion at the time and suppressed it. You may also be having dreams coming up for you, Virgo, about some of these situations, or even childhood friends or family that you haven't seen in a while, and waking up and wondering why this is coming up for you. It's your psyche releasing what needs to be released and freeing what needs to be freed in order for you to balance out your masculine, your feminine, to bring you back into trust, to bring you back into a sense of safety. Healing, again, this is about calming the system down, because I feel like you have maybe been on hyper alert, Virgo, for a lot of your lifetime. And imperfection and perfectionism does create that sense of hyper independence or hyper alertness. And now is a time for hibernation. It's a time for stillness. It's a time for regrouping. It's a time for surrendering and trusting and laying the swords down. There is no need to fight anymore. The universe will take care of it. What they're saying is there isn't any specific action you need to take except to ground into your own body and to trust what your senses are saying to you and to trust the wisdom that you are being given through prayer and through spirit. Okay, let's see what else for Virgo here. Final card of advice for Virgo, please and thank you, to close off this reading. So again, Virgo, grounding your energy, not being so hard on yourself, surrendering. Venus energy, which is about creativity, music. Yes, calming the mind down again. This can be confusion. And this is exactly, the card of which choice do I make? Which direction do I move towards? This is a card of being at a crossroads and not knowing, which direction to take. But they are saying that this is about closing off your normal senses. And this could be intellectualizing emotion. So instead of intellectualizing, going into the heart space so that you are not allowing the noise that's going on in the psyche to disrupt the process of your decision making. So it is a little bit about clearing out the psyche. You can see those two crows cawing at her, almost entrapping her, entangling her. And that's sometimes what your brain or mind does, Virgo. For some of you, if this resonates, is you can make up a lot of different scenarios about things, and that can be very stressful. But it's only a projected scenario based on your past experience, based on unhealed trauma, based on unhealed emotions. And so it's not a very clear way of moving forward. So allow the release, Virgo, so that you are able to clear the psyche for what is coming towards you. Okay, my Virgos, I hope that this made sense. And if you'd like a personal reading, my details are in the description box. Until next time, sending you much love.